So I just want to share this story about the moment that I chose me for the rest of my life. Okay? When I crossed paths with a person and I quickly formed a bond and we quickly, engaged in a relationship. Now, this person that I met, they also were, they grew up in a home that was, I would say, structured for sure, but the dynamic between them and their parents wasn't as I don't even want to say wasn't as loving. I want to say there was more conflict, I would say. Yeah, there was more conflict between them and their parent. And so I even, as we got older and I met their people, I realized that there was some kind of odd, it's like a weird energy that I really didn't understand, because I know, with my mom and my dad, they wouldn't do certain things or say certain things or make me feel a kind of way that I felt when I was around them and their people. I'm just like, this is weird. Why are they doing that? But I don't know. I never asked, but I kind of, assumed maybe I didn't even know what to think. But anyways, either way. So this other person was exposed to a lot more things that I would say are street, and I didn't know anything about it until I got with them. So, when people say you were green, that's me. I was the epitome of being a green person. I didn't know nothing related to street, nothing. I didn't grow up in that type of environment to where I noticed it, and then, I don't know, it was just very, two different worlds for me. I'm just like, oh my gosh, if my mom or my dad knew where I was, what was going on right now, they would flip the out. So I was just like, man, okay. But either way, that didn't deter me from being around them as much as possible. I had access to a car of my own. I made my own money. So I did a lot of driving around. I willingly spent my money, buying gifts and just, spending my money, my little bit of money that I made from my little job. I think I was either working at McDonald's or home or somewhere in retail, something like that. Okay, after we dated as youngins, at some point, this person actually got sent away. Sent away to go live with their other parent in a different state. We kept in touch. To me, that was the love of my life. I was head over heels in love, just yep, this is the one. Just like anybody would feel because it was just, I don't know, I just never experienced someone like that, and their looks also captivated me because I'm shallow in a sense. When my person looks good, I'm just like, yeah. But anyways, so after a while, we stopped talking, and but every once in a while we would talk on the phone. So, but ultimately, for years we lost contact. Then somehow, some way, we got back in touch, and as we are now adults, okay, so I was just like, this is the time. This will be the perfect opportunity. We're both grown-ups. We have, more experience in life, so we can probably, continue what we started a long time ago. Boom, we get in a relationship. It started out great. It was promising. There was so many discussions about what we're gonna do, what can we have, what can we obtain together. But then slowly but surely, it became heavy. And it became heavy because they started to become controlling. And with that control, which I allowed, I ended up having to cut off communication with people that I knew for years. I actually stepped away from home. The idea was for us to get a place, but it was never nothing that we did that would have promoted that. So at some point we ended up moving in with someone they knew. So we were in their home, and there was certain rules and certain things that was just like, it kept me, I felt almost like I was in jail a little bit. I was the only one with a car, so my car became their car. Like, I couldn't get my keys to go do nothing. Like, any and everything was like in their control. And it was very much like blindsiding. Like, I thought it was gonna change. I thought that I really thought that I could change them, in a sense. Like, I thought, you know, because they were like this way with other people, like more hardcore, I'd say, and more softer with me, that they wouldn't do certain things. But it became so toxic that my depression was so fucking real. It was scary. And it was scary because I remember, after going through a whole bunch of crazy shit with them, while in a relationship with them, I was just like, yo, I don't think this is good. But, you know, in my head, I'm just like, it'll get better. That's all I kept saying. It'll get better. And then there was like moments where like they would do something that I'm just like, see, it'll get better. And it got better for like 2.5 seconds, and it went back to shit. But, you know, I didn't have the strength or the guts to stick up, because I didn't know no better. I didn't know what to do. I kind of was just like day to day going by, you know, the little bit of, I don't know, civilized moments that were just like, oh, okay, this might be a turning point. But that was all the story in my head. That's all the story that I made up in my head, in my heart, that, oh, it's going to be better. Oh, it's just because of this. Oh, it's just because of that. I made a lot of excuses for this person, for how they were being and how they were acting. I made a lot of excuses. And it was just like, I was dangerously in love. That's what it was. I was dangerously in love with someone that ultimately wasn't all the way there for themselves. So the starting point of us was so fresh and so pure and so promising, and I know this person is good. I know this person can be good. They weren't bad to me, but it was just a lot of manipulation. I don't think it was intentional, only because I feel like that person was lost in themselves. But I was busy trying to help them, in a sense. I was busy trying to, you know, be the person, be the one to save them, in a sense. I wanted to be the one that helped take care of them. And that was such a heavy thing to endure. And I only realized that after I lost myself. You know, I lost myself a lot. Like, I remember one point, well, let me say this. I'm a very sensitive person. Like, I used to despise, I used to hate when people be like, you are so sensitive. You are too sensitive. Why are you taking that to heart? I used to hate when people used to say that to me, because it started making me feel like I hate that shit about myself. I hated that. Like, I was just like, I hate being sensitive. I hate it. I hated it. And that alone was very much of a toxic thing to take in. I remember one time, you know, I don't remember what happened, but I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to turn off my feelings. Like, that's the words that I said in my head. I said, I'm going to turn off my feelings and stop being sensitive. And stop being so, stop feeling my feelings, I guess you could say. And that shit was the most craziest thing, because as soon as I said that and did that, I instantly became a different person. Like, almost instantly. And I knew it was real when the person that I was with was just like, why are you acting like that? What's wrong with you? Like, they didn't even recognize me because I was just like, I turned my feelings off. I don't know how I did that or what I was doing to actively work on turning off my feelings and turning off my sensitivity. I don't know what I was doing. I don't remember, but I just know, like, there was a whole shift in my whole demeanor, my whole being, that they even noticed. And I'm just like, why are you doing that? And then at some point after they asked me that flat out, like, why are you doing that? I said, well, I don't want you to think. I don't even remember what I said to them. I just know I said I turned off my feelings. They were like, stop doing that. They were like, please stop doing that. And I'm just like, what? Like, confused, like, okay. And so I guess in some way I turned my feelings back on. I don't know, but I guess I went back to who I was. But then, after that whole incident happened, my depression was so real. Because I remember there was days and weeks and months that passed by where I was totally isolated. I remember having one of those regular, like, I don't know, like Nokia phones, to try to just to have a phone to contact people. But the thing is, I wasn't ever calling anyone or ever in conversation with no one, not texting no one often. It was just like I literally was isolated and just waking up, helping them get ready for work in the morning, making them breakfast. I was domesticated. Is that the word you use? Domesticated when you're at home. I was a stay-at-home girlfriend. That's what I was. I was a stay-at-home girlfriend. And I had the ability to go make money, but their controllingness of where I was, who I was with, was very much real. So I didn't get to do much of anything. And if I did do anything, they had to be there to watch. That was like a big part of my life. Like, it was like a very much of a moment in my life where I'm just like, this can't be real. But I didn't know any better back then, because I wasn't thinking about nothing but, I love this person. What's gonna happen if I leave? Who's gonna help them? I was more concerned about what's gonna happen if I'm not here for this person. That's what I was more concerned with. I wasn't concerned about me. I was concerned about us and them. But I wasn't concerned about Fiona Fernellis at all. Not even a little bit. That shit was sad. That was a very much of a... I don't even want to use the word pathetic, because I didn't know any better. It was just like, I didn't know who I was, really. I just knew I needed to be the one to help, be the one to support, just be the one. I wanted to be the one and help create the life that this person wanted with certain things. I don't know. It was so much, guys. It was just so much. It was just very, very heavy. But I said all that to say, the moment that I realized I have to go back to who I was and who I am, and I need to go back to God. Like, I remember, this is how crazy this part was, okay? And I could still remember the moment, and it was so vivid, and it's so vivid right now. Like, I could envision what I'm about to share. So